Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we are going to be covering a problem that I've had, and I know for certain that a few of you guys have had as well. And this issue is whenever you go to start a print, and even with the BL Touch on and activated, you end up with extrusion on part of the bed and either no bed adhesion on the other side or no extrusion on the other side, where the distance between the bed and the nozzle are not the same. It's my understanding that this comes from the mechanical offset on the bed being too much for the BL Touch to compensate for, or something to that line. Resetting the BL Touch and make sure we get a good mechanical level on the print bed every now and then just helps us overall avoid this issue. And so, without any further ado, let's get started on it. Alright, we're starting out with a blank off Ender 3, power on, BL Touch does a test, stores probe, everything seems to be alright. We are going to go to control. We're going to go to BL Touch. We're going to click down to self-test. We select self-test. BL Touch does this little in-out dance with itself. It's funny, on the video you can see some flashing in the BL Touch you don't see with the naked eye. Alright. Control. BL Touch. Reset. Just to make sure that everything is fresh on it. Prepare. Auto home. Alright. From here we are going to prepare, move axis, move Z. We're going to walk this right down to 1 millimeter. Actually, I believe we wanted it 3 millimeters for the card that we're using. But for this next step, you're going to want a business card or something similar. I will be using the Overture card from the Overture PLA that I got. You can actually see where I've done this before on this card. The Overture doesn't pay me anything for this. I just happen to have this because they included it with their filament. Overall, it's been pretty good filament. I don't have any complaints. Alright. So we're going to reach under here. We're going to slide the card under the nozzle where it's hitting here, which we're at 0.2. And then it doesn't have to be at 0 on here where that comes up. I do apologize. It's taking me a second. There she goes. Okay. So, just a little bit of resistance, bumps under, and just a little bit of resistance on the card. Alright, now, you have two options at this point. You can do this the fast way or the slow way. For the first corner, I'm going to show you the slow way. The rest of it, we're doing the fast way because, yeah. Alright, we're going to move axis. We're going to move Y. There we go. And move X. And our goal is to get to this corner here. Alright. Now, here, all we're doing is going to bring this card back. Ooh, look at all that space. So, we are going to come up. Till that gap closes. I don't know if you can see it good on the video here. Looks like you can. They have up and down written on these knobs, which is extremely handy because this can get tedious and mind-numbing. One of the unfortunate things about this, but the BL Touch does minimize the amount of times you have to do this. On the old printers before we had BL Touch, this setting was constantly done by hand at the beginning of every print, and it was quite a royal pain in the ass. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Oh well. It was. So just a little bit of resistance. The card doesn't crinkle up whenever I try to push it through. It slides back and forth real good. Alright, so for the next thing we're going to do, told you I'd show you the fast way. Prepare, disable steppers. Now the one thing about this step, when we start moving things around, we cannot apply any downward pressure on this bar, because if we do, we will throw off our Z-axis, which we are depending on staying correct. In turning off the steppers, we open up that little stepper motor in the back there. You can see a little bit of it. Anyways, and it can move freely should it, decide to, or whatever. Alright, we're going to come over to this other corner, just gently push it over. Get that clip moved over here so it's out of the way so you can see what's going on. Alright, this one is pretty close as it is. The resistance is not quite what it was on the other side, but it is close. I like it a little closer, so I'm going to play with it a little. Yeah, that's better. Alright. Now, have the bed. And pulling the bed, you really don't have a whole lot to worry about with the with the Z axis. Because it's not an issue. Now here, we're actually up too high. We are hitting already, so we need to come down. Sorry. It is hard to do this with one hand, and my only camera being a cell phone camera. Hopefully I'll be getting a better system soon, so that I can get you guys some better videos. Okay, so now that we have that, And that's a little too much resistance. Perfect. Alright, and then we come over here to the last corner and do it again. I want you to be able to see that a little better. We'll just open it up a little bit. Better view over here, maybe. Can't turn the knob and let y'all have that view because my hand has to be right there. Now, this back corner is worth noting is where the cable comes in for the heat on this. So it does actually have a bit more of a limit to how tight you can set it that the other corners do not share with it. But you do just dial it down just the same. Perfect. Alright, so just, you can look at the card, like there are little lines on it, but I haven't gouged this card any. You don't let it bow up on it. If it hits, it hits. If it can be pushed under easily, that's ideal. So what this does is tells me that this bar, this bed are as close to each other as I can get them mechanically. So from here, we're going to, first off, we're going to preheat because we are also going to verify our probe Z offset while we're at it. Alright, there we go. Print. No. Prepare. Auto home. While it's doing that, we'll go ahead and go back to control. Bed leveling. Level bed. And let it run its bed leveling circuit. So now we have it as close as we can get it mechanically, and the BL Touch should be able to handle it from there. The other day I had one running and the knob, actually this knob right here, had in the vibrations running back and forth had come unscrewed and fallen off. There is a design on Thingiverse for a replacement knob for that has little teeth on it that prevent it from coming loose in one of those runs. May be worth looking into if you're interested in printing upgrades for your printer. Which is, obviously I am, which is why I have all this white stuff on my printer. Right, handy thing about that preheat is that it has this pretty well ready to roll before we're even 2/3 of the way done with the bed leveling. I do apologize for the tediousness of some of this, but this is the life of the 3D printing. Sometimes you gotta give it these little TLC moments, and doing this once a month is usually enough to prevent the any major issues with it. Like I said, sometimes on a really long print, sometimes these knobs will vibrate loose, but otherwise just running through this about once a month will help a lot. Alright, and we are going to print. And it's already at temperature. It says bed cooling for whatever reason. We are going to watch and make sure that our bed adhesion and our run go smoothly with the new leveling. And one thing we will be doing is tuning in our probe Z offset. So this one already remembers that it is -2.2 on the probe Z. However, when it starts, if the print is either too close to the glass or too far away from the glass at this point, then we will take the probe Z offset setting and adjust it until our bed adhesion is ideal. Probably going to run another level because I believe it does that every print. I don't know, I always forget. I tend to start them and walk away. Yep, whole bed leveling process again. Alright, well, I will take this time to, ask what else you guys would like to see, I guess. Let me know what issues you guys are having, and I will show you my fix for the issues, and what we can do to help you keep rolling with them. The bed adhesion is usually one of the main things that tends to be an issue for people, especially just getting started. And a couple of things that'll help with that is, especially if you're working with PLA, good old-fashioned glue stick to just coat a thin layer on the bed will just hold extremely well with that. A little bit of hairspray can work well. If you're printing with PETG, then that right there is going to be your best friend, or the blue painter's tape, but this is about half the price and does much the same job. So, yeah. Now, if you have a aluminum or a magnetic bed, which I do have a magnetic bed, they're rubber, they're flexible, they're intended to be bent, they lay back flat pretty well, but you can end up with a warped underplate that will cause an issue with those. And you can end up with, here we go, you can end up with warped magnetic beds as well. Or not magnetic beds, I'm sorry. You can end up with warped aluminum beds that, let's see, our bed adhesion looks really good right here. And my phone is going to die, so hopefully we get enough to show complete round before it does. Ooh. Bed adhesion is not grand in the middle out here, but it is putting down in the right area, and I can tell you right now that the reason that it is not sticking is because I did not put glue. And you can tell it's extruding all the way around because I have a big old ball of crap up under it. So I will have to stop that print and glue this bed and restart it. I'm not going to make y'all watch that. Anyways, that is the mechanical bed level and is the fix to having it half under extrude or under bed adhesed, half over adhesed, or half printing and half clogged off. So hopefully this is helpful to you guys. If this doesn't solve your issues, then chances are your machine needs to be recalibrated, and like I said, we will be recalibrating that machine right there in the coming days. However, I have not done that task in quite a while and have to refresh myself on the exact steps before I can make a video on it. So keep an eye out for that video coming in the next few days, and let me know what other issues you guys have, what answers you want to see on here, and anything else I can do to help improve the channel. Thank you, and have a good day, guys.